Shalom. Call Loyim Wakabat, La Yahweh Bashim, Yahushai Bashim, Rabachakwadash. Delve unto the elder apostles of the great millstone who tell us the truth, who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, we know we are of the Most High, and the world all around us is controlled by the evil one. 1 John 5:19 in the NLT. We also know it says in Job 9 and 24 that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And thus, and when you have the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear of rule, when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. And that's why everything is at its worst condition on the planet Earth under this current rulership. As a matter of fact, before I even start this lesson, I got to get this in the Apocrypha, and I want to get the Good News translation. Let's go to the Bible Gateway real quick. And we're going to go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. First, let's go here real quick. And this is how you know that these devils, this is why they're going to have the judgment that's prescribed for them. That they have to be basically put out the earth because they managed to completely destroy the course of the earth. It's lead to all type of destruction to the atmosphere, destruction to the ecosystem. This man has destroyed everything. Now he's weaponizing our food, and he wants to take full control of our food supply. So, this devil's not going to stop, man. He has an evil covetousness. So let's we're gonna go to the GNT. It's a lot. We're gonna go to Wisdom of Solomon 6. And this is a message to when the Lord gives the world over to a particular people to rule. This is what he actually says. And you can apply this to Esau since he's the one in power. He's the current ruler because he's the one that's responsible. Wisdom of Solomon 6, starting at 1. It says, "So then, you kings, you rulers, the world over, listen to what I say." All right, talking about you world rulers. All right, yeah, your Klaus Schwabs. All right, you Rothschilds, you Rockefellers, all your little puppet leaders, that you're using as a face to bring forth your agendas. Listen up and learn from it. You govern many lands and are proud that so many people are under your rule. But this authority has been given to you by the Lord, the Most High. All right, which goes back to Daniel 4 and 17. All right, where it says, let's get that real quick. And this is why the Lord is holding Esau responsible. This is the last beast, which is basically the final dominion of Esau. Let's go to Daniel 4 and 17. And it says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and a demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in a kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth over it the basis of men." With Esau being the basis of all men. When you read Job, the 30th chapter, how the Lord took him from out of that estate of living in the caves and being more, they were children of fools that were viler than the earth, that were base men. And now, the world has been given over to them, and they've been ruling for quite some period, some time now. That's why it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning that follows. because he's been ruling for the, this whole eon. This whole eon has been the dominion of Esau, Edom. All right, which is going to be the final eon, the end of an age, and we can't wait. We hasten that time. The scriptures say, "Shake the time short, man," because if the Lord don't shorten the days, there will be no flesh left to be saved. But so for the elect, He's going to shorten the days. All right. So going back, it says, He will examine what you have done and what you plan to do. So there's nothing you can hide from the Most High. None of your secret counsels, everything that you're doing in the dark, and everything that you getting ready to do, all your evil, wicked plans, the Lord's going to do an investigation. He's going to examine that. All right. An inquisition is being made. It says your rule on behalf of the Most High and His kingdom. And if you do not govern justly, and we know that this devil, he can't do nothing just. It says that in was that Jeremiah, can an Ethiopian change his skin, or a leopard his spots? So are they that are accustomed to evil to do good. The soul that is within him is not upright in him. So he's not a good governor. He's not a good judge. He's not a good manager. He's horrible. All right. He doesn't care about the people. It says in Sirach, the 10th chapter, a wise king, it's like an unwise king destroyeth his people. And that's exactly what he's doing. And the lesson that I'm getting ready to go into proves just that. He's weaponizing food against humanity. All right. And he wants to basically reduce the earth's population, which is an evil, wicked device that he will not be able to perform, because you're not going to get rid of the Lord's elect. That's for sure. So continuing on, it says, if you do not uphold the law, meaning what? The law, statutes, and judgments of the scriptures, which he does not do. That's why he's referred to as the man of sin. And he's being revealed as we speak. This is that time. The man of sin, the man of lawlessness, who opposed him and exalted himself above all that is called God. So he sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So he definitely does not uphold the law. All right, he creates his own laws and penal codes and policies, unrighteous decrees, oppressive laws. That's what he does. All tyrannical. All right, it says, if you do not live according to the Most High's will, you will suffer sudden and terrible punishment. Judgment is especially severe on those in power. So they got all this power right now. Their head is in the clouds, their excellency mounts up to the heavens. But it says, know if not this of old, that let's get that real quick. Let's go to Job 20. Job 20, verse 4 and 5. And it says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphant of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? And your time is ticking, man. You know that your time is short. That's why you recently came out and basically said you need to accelerate your Agenda 2030 agenda, where you want to basically take full control of all facets of life, including the food. And we're going to get into that. It says, common people may be mercifully forgiven for their wrongs, but those in power will face a severe judgment. All right. And that's why your end is to be destroyed, totally annihilated, because you destroyed the earth. You destroyed the food. You destroyed the minds of the people. You put all the animals and all the Lord's creation in danger, all because you want to roll out your technology and play God on earth. So yeah, your judgment is going to be that severe. So anyway, I want to play this little video right here, and this is going in basically into the controlled food system that's in place right now that they're trying to accelerate. All right, and you had a quote by Henry Kissinger. He pretty much said who controls the food supply controls the people. And and those who control the energy can control continents, and he who controls the money control the world. And they already control the money. All right. They control all the different banking systems through the central bank. They have the Federal Reserve here in the States. So they already control the money. The banking industry, that's already sold up by the Rothschilds. And then, they're right now, with them doing what they're doing with Russia, they're trying to have war on fossil fuel power so that they can accelerate their green agenda, their green energy agenda. All right, using solar energy. And that's where they're gonna wanna, you know, make everything more electric and digital, electric vehicles, and they're gonna start banning cars that use gas so it doesn't emit, you know, carbon. They're gonna do the carbon tracing, and they're gonna tax you. This is what they have planned out, man, to control every use for everything that you do. All transaction, everything that you use, they're gonna be monitoring and tracking it, and they're gonna charge you for it. And now they're also gonna charge you to eat synthetic, laboratory created, geoengineered food approved by big pharma. So this is the world we're coming into. That's why we gotta pray that the days are shortened. So anyway, let's watch this little video right here.
With sunlit open fields and fresh air, why would you want to bring farms into cities? It is being done to create a more sustainable future. Right now, there are 7.7 billion people on the planet. By the year 2050, this number is set to rise to 9 billion. And at the same time, climate change could lower crop production by 25%.
Yeah, in other words, through them blocking out the sun through their geoengineering, they can cause a lot of crop failure. They're gonna blame it on climate change, but really it's them, using that left hand technology, that HARP and weather modification technology, and using aerosols, creating synthetic clouds to block out the sun, you know, take away the photosynthesis of the plants, which is what they need. They need sun, they need the energy from the sun to reproduce. All right. So it's all a smokescreen for what they really want to do. Because we already know that whole climate agenda, that's all is science falsely so called. We already know that. But let's keep going.
Other big reasons for farming being moved into cities include there is just not enough fertile farmland that can be used to feed everyone. This is why you see rainforests and jungles being cleared.
See, this devil is not he is not a good ruler. He is not a good manager of the earth. All right, he does not govern the world properly. That's why I had to read that in Wisdom of Solomon. Now, if he would uphold the law of the Bible, he wouldn't have that problem. All right, there's a thing called the land Sabbath. He's supposed to let the soil rest, but because he doesn't let the land rest, he just keeps going over and over and over until he has no land left, and then he has to wipe out and take out, more land, more trees. Basically, get rid of the oxygen that we have to use. All right, that's filtered through the trees. That's the purpose of the tree. So you see, this man is very destructive, man. Just so that he can maintain his desire. Let's get the law of the land Sabbath real quick. Leviticus 25 and verse 1, it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses at Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land." a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of the vine undressed, for it is the year of rest unto the land. Esau does not do this, all right, because he's greedy and he wants to, hoard up all resources of the earth to himself. All right. It says, and the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee and for thy servant and for thy maid and for thy hired servant and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee. But dealing with him, it will be nothing left, you know, just overbearing the land. And for thy cattle and for the beasts that are in thy land shall be the increase thereof be meat. All right. So he does not keep the land Sabbath, and that's why the land suffers. So therefore, he has to go and destroy more, trees. Let's run that back.
Moved into cities include there is just not enough fertile farmland that can be used to feed everyone. This is why you see rainforests and jungles being cleared.
See, all because you don't know how to keep the land Sabbath. You don't know what the hell you're doing. So basically, more of the earth got to suffer. So that's why when your ass is brought down, the earth is going to finally be at rest, and they're going to rejoice at your fall. Go to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and verse 5. I'm going to read the NLT translation. And it says, and this is after Esau's kingdom is brought down. All right, Isaiah 14 and verse 4 says, you will taunt the king of Babylon. You will say, the mighty man has been destroyed, because the Lord is going to destroy them which destroyeth the earth. Revelation 11 and 18. Yes, your insolence is ended, for the Lord has crushed your wicked power and broken your evil rule. All right, going back to Wisdom of Solomon 6. The Lord has examined everything that you've done and is doing or plan to do, and your judgment is going to be very severe upon you. All right, it says, you struck the people with endless blows of rage and held the nations in your angry grip with unrelenting tyranny. All right, these pandemic restrictions, you making sure everybody, get on this digital grid so that you can closely monitor and trace their every move. Give them restrictions on what they can buy and what they can sell and what they can eat, how much they can eat. Getting rid of free speech. You determining what's considered right information versus disinformation or misinformation. That's straight up tyranny, man. Got to look forward every 3 to 6 months. It's going to be required. You got to put his the venom in you. All right, you and your unrighteous decrees, your draconian measures. That's all. That's all unrelenting tyranny. All this food that's killing us, you're gonna make us actually pay for it and eat it. So this is why the Lord's gonna come down upon you with that hammer. It says, but finally the earth is at rest and quiet. Now it can sing again. Because by this point, after you're destroyed, the righteous are going to be back in power. And that's Yahushai and his government, which are the 144,000, 12,000 men out of each tribe of the nation of Israel. That's when, everybody's going to rejoice. It says, even the trees of the forest, the cypress trees and the cedars of Lebanon, sing out this joyous song. Since you have been cut down, no one will come now to cut us down. All right. And that's a response to, the fact that because they don't know how to keep a land Sabbath, they just want to just continue to pillage the earth of his resources, due to him being entitled because of going back to that blessing, where if he was blessed with um, the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, that's all the earth's resources and minerals, the oil. He wants all that to himself. He wants it all, man. Even if he has to spill blood. But now you gotta harm the earth just to get more out of it. That's this devil. So let's continue.
And fertile land is also being lost to climate change. Another reason is that it is much more efficient to grow leafy vegetables in vertical farms. You can grow a lot more with less space and less resources than a traditional farm. The UN estimates that 20 to 40% of crops that are grown are destroyed by pests. So growing in a closed environment without soil means no pests and no pest.
Yeah, he puts pesticides, weed killer pesticides on your vegetation, man. This shit is death, man. See, that's why we always quote that in Lamentations. It is of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed because his compassions fail not. All right. Even we try to eat a good diet and even that's tainted and polluted. That's why this man got to go. All right. He got paint remover chemicals in some of your foods. It's all messed up, man.
Pesticides are needed. This also means that you get healthier and more nutritious food, and you don't lose nutritious value when the food is being transported, since you can now get your vegetables from farm to table in hours, also reducing the need for energy when shipping. The first city farming company that we will look at is called Arrow Farms. They are a vertical farming company that have a number of farms in New Jersey, and they'll be taking to the skies soon as they supply Singapore Airlines with their new farm-to-plane concept. Arrow farms have been built in former warehouses, paintball centers, nightclubs, and steel mills. The money coming in to fuel this growth has come from the likes of Inca Group, which is the parent company of IKEA, giving Arrow Farms a valuation of $500 million, allowing them to bring in an estimated $50 million in revenue annually.
And that's basically what it's all about. It's about profit. All right, because he has that covetousness, man. He's a nigger. Everything is about profit to this devil. All right, very greedy. Real quick, let's get Psalm 73. Psalm 73 and yes, Psalm 73 and 12. And this is in the NLT. It says, "Look at these wicked people enjoying a life of ease while their riches multiply." And that's Esau taking over through these major corporations, racking in billions of dollars yearly. That's why the elites who controls them and funds them are straight trillionaires. All right. All they do is put their money to these corporations, and the corporations take over all these industries, and their money just increase. It multiplies. Let's get the KJV version of it. Psalm 73 and verse 12. It says, "Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world; they increase in riches." But hey, that's gonna soon change when the Lord destroys them. It says that in Sirach the 10th chapter, because of unjust dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is going to be translated from one people to another. It's going to be translated to Jacob. This devil is going to vomit up all those those riches. All right. That's why it says, "How you rich man? Your riches, your gold and silver is rusted and moth eaten because you're trying to hoard it up for the last days." All right. So anyway, now real quick, let's go to blacklisted news because there's an article on this whole thing. Let's go there real quick because they're going into arrow farms, which basically got the largest indoor farming facility in the world. This is where they're going to be, making your crops. Let's go down. We're going to go right here. And this is the article. Control food systems in place and accelerating. Now let's scroll down, and I'm gonna read this section. And because this is where it left off at, dealing with Aeroforms, right? It says Aeroforms, who has the largest indoor vertical forming facility in the world, co-developed the first CRISPR Cas9 gene edited produced product. Now hundreds are following. While National Geographic believes that gene editing is the next food revolution, Aeroforms also worked on an NIH-sponsored trial to produce proteins for the Crown Royale Vic potions. All right, so they're working hand in hand with big pharma, but nothing good comes from that. It's all sorcery in it, and guess what? We've already learned, you probably about a year ago, how they're trying to basically put them little nano dust right in your leafy greens, man, right in your salad. They want to make sure they get that into your body for a reason. That's them trying to merge man with technology. That's the fourth industrial revolution. Them basically blurring the lines between uh, uh, um, basically biology, the physical, and technology. That's their whole goal, man. All right. That's why we always quote. Let's go to Psalms 140 verse 8, and it says, "Grant not, O Yahweh, the desires of the wicked; further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves." Salah. And also, let me get Psalms 141 and verse 9. It says, "Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity." Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, man. Because this is their plan, man. They lay snares privily. They say, "Who shall see us?" They accomplish a diligent search. Search out iniquities, accomplish a diligent search. The inward heart of them is very deep. So they search these things out, and they put all type of money and resources into it. Did all the studying. This man is a mastermind in wickedness. All right. So you see what they're doing with your food supply. All right. It says the University of California is developing a plant-based mRNA. In the hopes that farms can grow edible. Heads of lettuce. Monsanto Bayer is creating gene-edited seeds for vertical farm companies, while Bill Gates, the Rockefeller, and Ford Foundations and the World Bank control 10% of the world's germplasms and hold some of the world's largest seed banks. Bayer and BASF, two of the world's largest suppliers of seed, are both involved with the vertical farm industry. The USDA and FD have already approved lab-grown meat, 3D printed meat, genetically modified cattle, and there's even laws on that. We ain't supposed to. Let's go to was it Leviticus? This is the man of sin being revealed, man. Leviticus 19 and verse 19, it says, "Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee." He does not honor none of these commands, man. But he's in power. That's why the Lord's going to hold him responsible. All right? Because he's the man of sin. He's the man of lawlessness. Hey, like it says in Psalms 50 and 16, unto the wicked, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? That thou should take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and cast my word behind thee. So you're gonna be held accountable, man. You're responsible, and you're gonna be held accountable. All right, all your sins are piling up upon you, you devils. So I'm gonna read a little more. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. It says, in our funding the globalists to research and develop cellular agriculture as well as indoor growers and genetics companies while they slack on regulation for gene edited produce. Well over a dozen major food processing and meat plants have coincidentally gone up in flames in the past several months, which is all being purposely done. We already know. Union Pacific is mandating railroad shipping reductions by 20%, impacting CF Industry Holdings, the world's largest fertilizer company, Vanguard, BlackRock. These are those corporations I'm talking about, and State Street happen to be the top shareholders of Union Pacific, and BlackRock and Vanguard are in the top three shareholders of CF Industry Holdings. By mapping some of the biggest vertical farms below in this report, it reveals the crops, grocery stores involved, locations, and billions pouring in by globalist investors and shareholders. It quickly becomes evident that this is the global plan to control all produce, ingredients that go into all food products. It's all going to be disastrous. We need salvation, man. 'Cause they figure they're just going to capitalize off of your misery, off of your injury, off of you dying, off of your poor health, of them giving you these these dangerous products that they're going to, feed you. We got to get up out of here, man. All right, the world is in the hand of the wicked, but eventually the Lord's going to set up over it one who is profitable. Let's go to Sirach 10 real quick. Let's go to Sirach 10. Yeah, Sirach 10 and verse 3, it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And that's going to be Yahweh Shai and his government. That's going to be the profitable reign for the earth. That the earth can finally be rejuvenated. That it can be restored of its energy. Because right now it's cursed. The whole earth, it's defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they're not keeping the ordinances. They're not keeping the laws, and they're changing the seasons, the time. Everything is out of whack. This devil can turn everything upside down for his own profit and benefit. That's why the Lord's going to destroy him. All right, he's good. He got to go. Let's go to Psalms 10 real quick. We'll go to Psalms 10 and verse 15, and it says, break thou the arm of the wicked and evil man, seek out his wickedness till thou find none. And you're going to constantly be exposed, constantly, until the Lord finally steps in and put in that sickle. You got to be put to a stop. And let me end off with this one real quick. It's Psalm 7 verse 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reigns. All right, and it's going to come to a complete end upon their end, the end of Esau's world. All right, that's why we got the angels out there in the heavens watching everything. So you devils, hey, just prepare yourself. So anyway, I'm gonna end off with that. I'll try to leave a link to these in the description box, and Lord willing, y'all were edified. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, and to the next time, Shalom.